Get up in the evening, I see it in the sun. I come home when it's dark out, the whole damn day's done every day. Every day the same old tune, yeah. Getting drunk in the evening, after the flawless afternoon. I come home and I'm bleeding, I break it every day. It goes unappreciated no matter what all those people say. Every day the same old tune, oh yeah. Getting drunk in the evening, after the flawless afternoon. Take it over, Brian. She's standing right by my side, working all these hours like a million suicide. Every day the same old tune, oh yeah. Getting drunk in the evening, after the flawless afternoon. Go! Rich, I run out to my workplace and burn that ugly bitch every day the same old tune, oh yeah. Getting drunk in the evening, after the lawless afternoon. Well, lawless afternoon, lawless afternoon, lawless afternoon. On a warm spring day, Saturday to be fact, in 1979, I was a skinny, long-haired rock and roll wannabe, trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life. And I was riding my 10-speed Schwinn bicycle over to my best friend Randy Barnard's house to go into his parents' backyard where they had a barn. That's right, in Tonawanda, New York, they had a barn in their backyard to discuss our musical future. When I arrived at Randy's house, there was a skinny gentleman standing in the doorway of the barn with, as I called it at that time, a genuine Ace Frehley guitar. And he said, "Hello, my name is Brian." And then he proceeded to play the opening riff of Sweet Poontang. That's right, Wang Dang Sweet Poontang. My mind was blown at that moment, and my life was changed forever. That day, he taught me how to properly play an A chord, and then that brought to life the birth of about 500 bad rock and roll songs that I wrote, all in A.
Oh, that's dope. You write good songs.
Would you please welcome Brian Best to the show?
Thank you. Thank you. I lift this up, but there wouldn't be anything there.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about bald, all right?
What are you saying, man?
Anyway, no, we're gonna the P.T. Barnum stuff is over now. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things, and we're gonna be doing a lot of songs that we were a part of and that we wrote together.
We either co-wrote or he wrote, or just old memories, old really great memories.
And we're gonna talk about Brian and his inspirations and everything. And that's the first question I got for you, Brian. First of all, welcome.
Well, thank you, Larry Tom.
Please inform the folks what it was that got you interested in music, and who were your earliest
Well, at the age
influences?
of 4, it was drugs. I mean, I couldn't refuse all the great dope I was getting at 4 years of age. All the women. Oh, sorry, that was later. really what got me started was, I was born a very hyperactive child, and my outlet I found was, or what became my pacifier was music. The old saying of music soothes the savage beast. I would sit there and listen to all those rock and roll records from the 50s that my mom had, and what would blow their mind was they couldn't believe that this 4-year-old kid who couldn't read could pull out an Elvis Presley record that they wanted to hear out of a pile of 45s and knew exactly what 45 it was and what side to play when I couldn't read. But it was a passion and a love for the music. I got to understand it so well. The nearest I could figure out was that I loved the music so much that I knew what was what by looking the way the labels look.
I think everybody's interested in knowing, when did you in fact ever learn how to read?
No, and that's why.
All right.
No, I can't read music. I was told there's my
Lori Conley says hi, guys.
Hey,
Love
Lori.
ya.
Let me just say that Lori Conley is the band's girlfriend on the side. White doesn't know.
Don't tell him because we want his homemade brew.
She's been catering food to us and everything else. Don't tell him.
By the way, we will be doing a Hastings Band Unplugged session, hopefully at the Commie's house. I haven't asked if we can do it at your house yet, but can we do it at your house? We're looking in about a month or so. We're going to be having a Hastings Band. Next week, on Wednesday, 7 o'clock, my special guest will be Danny Manzella of 55 Main, and one of my favorite singers in the Western New York area. He's gonna come to our house and sing some songs. So check that out Wednesday, 7 o'clock. But now back on to Brian. Brian, who was your first favorite rock and roll artist?
Actually, the first person that grabbed me was the Beatles. I loved the early Beatles stuff, and I mean like the '63 stuff that most of the guys don't like, just because the harmonies were so incredible and there was melody that I just got it right off the bat, even as a small kid. And I saw those guys doing that, and I'm like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I knew since I was a little child that's what I wanted to do.
Right. Everybody knows Brian out there. A lot of people know him for his wonderful work he did in the Holly Days. And I'm very proud of, back in '95, when you first started out there, I actually played drums for our first couple shows of that. And I remember Brian turning around and looking at me with those glasses on, and he had that haircut. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Let me quote him verbatim. This was classic. We're playing. He takes one, I turn around and look at him, and he looks right back at me square in the eye, and he goes, "You're a freak!"
No, don't swear. We're trying not to swear.
Don't swear. He goes, "You're a freak!" And I just burst out laughing because that was Tom's way of giving me the pat on the back. And nice job.
Fabulous. He went on and he just did an unbelievable job, his buddy Holly. And we're going to do, now Brian can't sing a lot, but we're going to try to get him to sing a little bit of Buddy Holly for you in a little bit. But let's see now, what was the first instrument that you learned? Was it the drums or the guitar?
My first instrument was drums, because again, I had such a high level of energy. Back in those days, in 1968, people weren't giving you pills and sending you to psychologists for those kind of problems. They didn't know what to do with people like me. So the drums were it. That was my way to kind of burn off some of all that excess energy I had. And I got it. It was very, drums are very primitive. They're, primal. It hits you right here. And it was the one thing that God gave me as a gift that I can do naturally. And I don't take any credit for anything. I owe that all to God.
No, you should. I take most of the credit for him.
Tom taught me everything I know.
Yeah. And then he forgot all about that and he got good.
Oh.
All right. And then eventually we met. That story that I told at the beginning is 150% true. We started a band together in 1981, and we were pretty decent back then, but we were kids learning how to play, and we drove the good people of Catherine Street in Tonawanda crazy quite a bit with our loud noise. And let's do a song this was from 1983 actually, and it was written with myself and our good friend Joe Bacon, who if you're out there, Joe, I sent out an invitation. I would love to have the Meet the Bacons on our show and highlight your guys' career because I love you guys a lot and love your music that you play. So, but this is a song I wrote with Joe Bacon, and it was one of our earlier songs that we played with the band, and it's called "Go On Dreamin'." You ready? Baby, I must be leaving. Gotta make it on my own. You've been dreaming. I must be going home. You see, the dreamers, they ain't right for me. Need a woman to go on. Need a woman with me. I need a woman strong. Here we go. Go and live your life, I'll just close the door. Go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. Oh, go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. Oh, come on now. I was in love with a girl not long ago. I would like to ask you, where did that girl go? You see that I had spent my whole life looking for a girl like you. So won't you please tell me, just where did that girl go to? Go and live your life, I'll just close the door. Go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. Oh, go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. Come on, Brian, give me a little lead now. If you decided to make the most of life, if you decided that you'd be my wife, well, I'd take you back in a minute. If you give all that it seems, I just can't live with a woman who lives on her own dreams. No, no. Go and live your life, I'll just close the door. Go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. Go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. Go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. Oh, go on dreaming, it's all you're living for. It's anything, man. Oh.
Lori Conley says that you guys can do it there at their house.
All right, we can do it. We're going to
And
be the Conleys in a moment.
Dennis Fountain says this is his new favorite show.
All right. Well, you're my new favorite guy there, Dennis.
Well, stay tuned because in another 5 minutes my thumb will come off. See?
Ryan Best, everybody. And when I say, it really means I love you.
There goes the G rating. Son of a.
All right, we're gonna move on. Let's talk a little bit about some of your other work. I know you can't sing it, but there was other bands that you played in as well that you did great in. And let's talk about some of them. Talk about some of your other experiences in other bands.
Well, Hastings has always been an intertwining quote throughout my life, because not only did we play and write music together, but we had a friendship that went back to high school. And so I never really got away from it, but I would do these other things. I just considered them all projects, you know.
Well, as I was saying, we wrote, we played for a while, then we go on and do other stuff, and then we'd come back and write and do, you know, and it's always...
You got 5 different people in a band, you're going to have 5 different opinions every time. That's just the way life is. And
there was never a question about love or anything.
No.
Never.
No, one thing I will... Let me make one thing perfectly clear. That Mike Conley, Tom Hastings, Randy Barnard, these people, all of
and
these
Shane,
people,
too, Shane
Davis, all of these people have been our friends for a long time, and it goes beyond. It's more like a brotherhood. It's a family. That's the way I see it. It's the thing that we may not talk to each other for 20 years, but if, for example, if Tom's car broke down and he needed me at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd be out there. Trying to get him out of trouble.
Let's not forget other folks
There's been a ton of people
that have been involved in the Hastings band over the years, from Joe D, who played drums with us, Keith Zimmerman, great saxophone player, Danny Delano, the late great Tim Sikora, Tony, Kevin Walgate, my brother!
Oh yeah, you want to talk about somebody somebody that basically put a lot of heart and soul, even when he couldn't. I mean, the man would fly back from California just to lay down drum tracks to help, because he wanted to be a part of the family.
Joe Bacon also.
There's a million people. Dan Delano.
Oh yeah.
Where do you want to go with this? There's just too many.
There's a bunch of guys that have contributed, and
Jason Widger, who's not with us.
Jason, we love Jace. And Pam, if you're out there, we're watching. If you're watching, we love you as well. Just a lot of different guys, and I apologize for forgetting, because we're live and we didn't script anything. So
no, this is all we wanted to do it this way, because we want to keep it real.
Yeah, but it's always been a great ride. But let's talk about now some of the other bands here.
The other influences, just to get back to the
other bands are saying.
Well, they were also,
right.
You know, it also helped me and influenced me in creating stuff that we did by doing Buddy Holly. You know, like I did a tribute to Buddy Holly. As a lot of people know, and I traveled around working with a lot of the stars from the 50s. I had my own original band in the late 80s and early 90s called Armed and Dangerous, which I was very proud of. It was my first attempt on my own as a songwriter and a producer, and you know, learning how to create music on my own, and you know, building my own palette, so to speak, musically speaking. And it helped me. All that helped me, so that every time that we did get back together again, that I would keep progressing with being able to collaborate with my friends and my family members, meaning like Tom and Randy. And the great thing about this band, I know I've basically given you some of the people I've worked with, but getting back to the Hastings thing real quick, I just wanted to say that throughout all that time, that we always got back together, and we always came up with a wealth of different material, different and new, and nobody stepped on each other's toes. We always tried to respect each other's domain as far as writing. We would take an idea and we would expand on it, but we would never try to take away from the initial writing of the song.
Here's a song we're going to do. Let's do a song from we recorded in 2005. And it's one of the few songs that we really collaborated on the lyrics, and you had the music, and I threw in a verse, and it was called Two Days Gone. Let's see if we can remember this one, okay?
And by the way, this is live, so we are making mistakes.
We're gonna mess it up because so. Why can't we talk things over? I'm talking to myself, talking on the phone, talking on this quest, talk till talking's gone. Hey baby, Why can't we talk things over? Here we go now. I'm so damn down that I never get up. Trying to get through to you. I'm so damn crazy about the things that you do. And I know that it won't be long. I'm 2 days gone. One more time. I'm 2 days gone. Back in my apartment, pounding on these walls. I wish that you were with me. I wish that you would call. Hey baby, why can't we talk this over? I'm so damn down that I never get up. Trying to get through to you. I'm so damn crazy about the things that you do. And I know that it won't be long. I'm 2 days gone. One more time. I'm 2 days gone. Oh, play that record. I'm 2 days gone. One more time. I'm 2 days gone. Here we go. Well, I never had a reason, never had a rhyme, never had these questions plaguing on my mind. Hey, baby, why can't we talk this over? All right, chorus. I'm so damn down that I never get up. Trying to get through to you. So damn crazy about the things that you do. And I know that it won't be long. I'm 2 days gone. I'm 2 days gone. One more. I'm 2 days gone. And the crowd goes crazy. Hello, Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right.
That's been a long time since we did that.
That was a long, long time. I was just trying to remember the words, brother. Okay, let's go back to Buddy Holly now. And again, don't want to put too much strain on you, but I would love if you would do a little bit, even if you just did a little bit of the songs, you know, whatever you can get through.
I'm just going to let everybody know. For the people that don't know, for the people that do know, I was diagnosed last year with stage 4 cancer, which didn't have too much of a happy ending for me. But since then, I've got some great news. But in order to save my life, they literally had to cut me open where my stomach is. So it's very hard for me to push right now to sing. I really shouldn't be doing this. But I want you guys to know, for those that are my friends who I know out there, I love y'all, and I'm just kind of doing this to kind of give you a little insight into my background, coming into music and meeting Tom and Randy and doing what we do, because we've got some really great surprises in store coming up in the not too distant future. And I'm going to let Tom tell you those stories. So in the meantime, just bear with me for a second. I'm going to see if I can remember what I got to play here, and I'm going to do some Buddy Holly for you.
All right.
There we go.
You ready, folks?
Yep.
Much you can do.
got one more I'm going to do for you. I apologize. I wish I could do these, like I want to do them.
Yeah.
But I have to be extremely careful.
Right. No, you be careful with everything. Don't apologize. You're the man, brother. And no, not at all. Just that you're even trying whatsoever. It just proves the point that I've been saying all these years.
Well,
You the man.
I don't know about that.
So go ahead and.
Just know I love you all. I wanted to also let this out for. I don't know if she's seeing this or if she will get to see this, but this is for Sherry Holly, and Sherry Holly is Buddy Holly's niece, and she's been a friend of mine and a supporter. Her and her husband both, Tommy Scales, is his name, and he's been a supporter of me since I was a young man, and I never forgot them. They never even met me face to face, but they would write me letters and send me things, and every time I'd send them a demo, and I'm actually listed because of them in a Buddy Holly book under Sound-alikes, because I recorded a song called Buddy My Friend when I was well, and actually Buddy Holly's family played on it with me, and because of them I'm now listed in a book under Sound-alikes. And I just wanted to dedicate this to Sherry and her husband Tommy, and to Buddy for his memory, because as of February the 3rd of this month, I'm sure a lot of you know, the plane crash, and I never thought it was the day the music died. I just thought it was the day that a family lost a brother or a son. You understand what I'm saying? But the music lives on. So this is a little short thing. Tom's going to help me rave on. We're going to do. I won't do it all the way through. I'm just going to do like a verse or so, and I'll stop.
Do what you can, bro. You ready?
Yep. Oh, it the little things that you say make me want to be with you. Rain on is a crazy feeling. I know it's got me reeling when you say I love you. Rain on. The way you dance, I can't hold me tight. The way you kiss and sing that. Rain on is a crazy feeling. I know it's got me reeling when you say I love you. Rain on. Well, rain on, it's a crazy feeling. I know it's got me reeling. I'm so glad that you're leaving for me. Rave on and tell me not to be lonely. Tell me. Close enough, we'll take it.
Hey, Bob Blazino wants to say hi.
Hey, Uncle Bob.
He's commented a couple times on here, but like you guys were playing, I didn't want to interrupt.
Bobby, I love you, you know that. You always are like Jello pudding, you always put a smile on my face.
And FYI, they're listening where my mom is working. My mom works at Terrace View, so like she puts it on for her patients. So like they're watching us.
Hello,
there
folks.
at
Terrace View again. This
we'll
is the
see
music
you
that
tomorrow,
know.
Terrace
We'll be there
View.
tomorrow and see you.
As soon as
I know you don't know this music, but we love you guys, and we'll be there for you tomorrow. Let's do a song from 1989. A little slow bluesy one. Called What's Going On? Hey, little girl, but you're on your own. Your big loving man left you on your own. Thought you had everything, so now everything you had. Somehow I just can't help but feeling bad. You had it all in your hand. You had everything there. Baby, tell me now that nobody cares. Do you wonder what's going on? Wonder what's going on? Wonder what's going on in your life, in your life, in your life. Come on, Brian. Baby, I'm leaving. Gotta get out of this town. How will it feel to know I'm not around? Maybe you make it. You make it sucker someone else. Baby, tell me, how can you live with yourself? Do you wonder what's going on? Wonder what's going on? Wonder what's going on in your life, in your life, in your life, in your life. Oh. Now you wonder what's going on. Wonder what's going on. Wonder what's going on in your life, in your life, in your life.
Tom, your mom is watching right now. She says hi. by the
Mama's
way.
out there?
Yeah, your
Oh,
mom.
God bless
Your
you. Love you,
mom is
Mama.
watching. Yeah, and Ron and Julie Walker are watching.
Oh
They
my
say
God. Hey,
hi.
Ron.
Susie says that she's really happy to see you playing and doing what you love, and she wants to know if you can see them dancing.
Yes, I can.
I'm going to tell you what I do know. The way things are going for me, and I can't answer why, only by the grace of God, the prayers of you people out there, I may actually make it. And I don't even know where to begin to say thank you for that. I mean, how do you say thank you to somebody that's to the friends and the people around you that love you so much that they're praying and trying to save your life? All I can tell
Well,
you
you're a good man, and people know that. And you've gone through a really rough stretch, and you deserve a break. And God bless you, you're getting that break.
all I can
Good
tell you
things
is,
happen to great people.
all I can tell you is if I can get back on my feet, I'm going to play like a maniac to everybody and anybody that wants to listen.
Looks like I better get a hair weave. Drop 149 pounds.
I was going to curl the hair from the center of my chest around the top.
All right,
Hilarious.
Going to jump to 1996. I was in the middle of my son had a seizure disorder that we just found out about, and it was a terrible time. And to help cope with that, I was going through a divorce and raising my two kids. And one of the great healing mechanisms was music. And between my friend Randy Barnard and Brian, Randy and I would go down to Thousand Islands and get away from it all, and we go to Alexandra Bay and party away the hard times. And Brian and I, in this home, in this house, in that room over there, we built a recording studio, and we started writing songs together in 96 and 97, and after 98, where we just had a great, it was one of my favorite times, because we had no interference whatsoever. We just wrote what we wanted, wrote what we felt.
To me, it was literally two friends just bouncing ideas off each other, laughing and having a great time.
We took our time with it, and we
just happened to write some songs with it.
And this was a song I wrote about Randy and I going on a trip, and I know we've never done this live before, so but it was a tribute to Alexandra Bay. You ready to try it?
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm packing. Wait. Well, I'm packing my bags, heading on down the highway. I've been reeling with the feeling, I'm gonna try to make it right. We're going to a place, they say they got 1,000 islands, and we're trying to find a way down to Alexandria Bay tonight. Well, now things are getting shaky, and life ain't got no reason. I've been feeling kind of lonely, and I know it just ain't right. It's been quite a while since I had somebody to hold me, and I'm looking for some loving down on Alexandria Bay tonight. Say it over, Brian. Well, I'm packing my bag and I'm heading on down the highway. I've been reeling with a feeling, and I'm gonna try to make it right. We're going to a place where they say they got 1,000 islands, and I'm gonna find my way down to Alexandria Bay tonight. Do it again, man. Well, I'm gonna find my way down to Alexandria Bay tonight. One more time. And I'm gonna find my way down to Alexandria Bay tonight.
Woo!
Woo! We made it through. Somehow. I skipped like 48 verses, but we made it through. All right, Brian.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Now, I want to take a moment, first of all, because this is a dear man. We've been friends since I was 14 years old, and I would like to thank personally so many people from the music community who have given this man prayers, and I didn't want to say anything because he told me not to say this and get out, but this guy is really the most talented guy that I've ever worked with. He's an amazing drummer. He's an amazing guitar player. He's an amazing songwriter and a great singer, a great band leader, a great friend, When I talked about my son having his seizures for the first time, he was in a coma for a week, and this man stayed with me in Children's Hospital for a week, and that's more than music. That's more than just about anything. And seeing, that he had a bad deal handed to him with his cancer, and he's fought, and he's had his dignity, and he's kept it all the way through, and now he's getting some good news. And I believe a lot of that good news is because of, a lot of you wonderful people that prayed for him and that thought of him. And just wanted to say how much I love you. And how glad I am that I'm able to sit here in 2019 and think back from 1979 when we first met, and that we are still here together.
Thank God.
And
that was my big thing. I actually turned 56 this year.
Yeah, think about it.
And I'm here. It's another year, and I've made it. And believe me, when anybody that knows what I'm talking about, when you get handed a life-threatening situation, everything's different. And believe me when I tell you, I'm grateful for everything I've gotten. Everything. Good, bad, and indifferent. The cancer was even a blessing because it made me realize that I needed to slow down. Besides, and take a look at what's around me and what's really important. And the best advice I can give to any of you people, my message is of actually hope, which is if you are ill, no matter what you get handed to you, don't quit. Your life isn't over till it's over. You have so much to offer other people with the gifts that God has given you. And enjoy what you have before it is too late. So all I want to say, and I promise I'll shut up after this, I have no more mushy stuff. I just wanted to say to all my friends out there, to Tom Hastings, to Diana here, I just want to tell you all that I love you very much. And I'm grateful to God that I have you all in my life. And there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think of any of you at any one given time, that I'm always driving you nuts. And I'm going to continue to do that because I just want to let you know that somebody out there is thinking of you. And grateful for what you've done for me. And I didn't even know what this was all about today, but I wanted to do this with my buddy because I want to, before it's over with me, I want to make sure that I get to spend that time with the people that I love very much and not wait till I'm dead to tell them that I love them. So that's the last thing I'm going to say. Thanks to everybody.
All right. Hey, how about remember Johnny B. Good?
Yeah.
What key would you like to do?
Do it an A.
Do an A?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go out on this note. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. We got to do some songs that, man, we haven't done in a long, long time. And it was so great to see Brian do a couple Buddy Holly songs and talk about some of the things that he's done. You didn't mention some of the other great bands that you had also. You had the Holy Grunge Revival that you did. You talked Armed and Dangerous. You were also in a country phase, I remember, too.
Oh, yeah.
That you did country music.
That was in the 90s, I think,
And
Renegade Riders.
Renegade Riders.
That was actually White Lies, the rock band White Lies, minus one guy. But it was a lot of fun. And one of the funniest compliments I ever got in my life was from one of our closest mutual friends, Randy Barnard, which some of you might remember Janix on the Boulevard, on Niagara Falls Boulevard.
Ah, Janix! Woo!
Well, Renegade Riders was playing there, and we were doing country, and Randy Barnard walked in through the door, and as soon as he heard the drums, he says, "That ain't no country drummer, that's Brian Best." And he never even seen me. That's the scary part.
We didn't even need to mic Brian up, man. He was a loud some bitch.
And he came in, and of course, but
I never realized how a guy that weighed 94 pounds could play those drums so loud.
I'm not strong. I just got a whole lot of attitude. Everybody knows me.
You're a strong
like
guy.
a chihuahua, I just bark a lot and I shake from the behind if you watch me close enough.
All right, brother. Let's. We talked about all our influences. Man, I remember. Anybody out there remember the Midnight Special? And Don Kirshner's rock concert. Before there was MTV, for us, for our generation, there was Don Kirshner's rock concert and Midnight Special. And I remember seeing this guy, Chuck Berry, with a big red guitar up there and duck walking.
Wait a minute, I just gotta say this. I don't mean to interrupt Tom, but I gotta do this because even Tom's gonna appreciate it.
I mean appreciate
Here's my imitation of Don Kirshner. Chuck Berry comes from Detroit. He just wrote a song. He's gonna sing the song. He's gonna walk out on that stage tonight, and he's gonna rock and roll you. Not only once, but he's gonna rock and roll you twice by the end of the show. And I'm like, Don, shut up! There's 25 minutes of you talking and 2 minutes of rock and roll. Let the boy play. That's all I gotta say. And those of you that remember Don Kirshner know exactly what I'm talking about.
At least he didn't do Wolfman Jack. So remember also next week we will have Danny Manzella. We're gonna move it back to our house, and Danny Manzella is gonna be singing with us on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So Danny, get ready if you're out there. I can't wait. I've got a great show lined up for you. We just there's some other acts that I've contacted and are going to be in upcoming weeks. Dan Gambino, for one, a great guitar player, great songwriter and singer, is gonna be coming over to the house, and we're setting that up. The Night Family from Night Crew, Debbie and Tim, are gonna be in upcoming shows. Danny Manziel is gonna be in another one with Forever Green. They're going to be playing some of their music for us. And I talked to members of 55 Million and are also, so Danny's got a few shows coming up with us. But several, I want to keep going and doing this as much as we can. So please, anybody interested in coming and jamming, and if you have original music you'd like to get out there, I would love to help you advertise that. If you just want to come in and come into our living room and play some music, we would love to have you. And keep this thing going, because I'm having a ball doing it. Want to thank Brian for opening up his home to us and for sharing some stories and some music with me. I love this guy, and I'm glad to say that he's going to be with us for a long, long time. And don't forget next week with Danny, and thank you, Brian. Up here, brother.
No, are you kidding me? Thank you for everything.
All right, let's rock and roll it out. Ready? Up. Johnny